I always considered myself to be a pretty open person before, but nothing compared to now. I was a little bit reserved around people with special needs, and if somebody was like freaking out in public about something, you know, I would kind of stay away from them and think like, oh, I wonder what's going on, you know, which I think is like, I'm not saying that people who do that are bad. I think that's normal. I'm just saying that I didn't like that about me. Like, I wanted to be that person who could help. And I have my own issues, you know, like I'm not perfectly like mentally sound, to say the least. And so I was really worried, you know, before I go into this as a career, am I even going to be able to handle it? There's very much like a certain type of person who I think can be immersed in that setting and can be constantly aware of what's going on with your camper, what's going on around you, what might trigger them, what they might be doing to trigger other campers. Camp Royall is the best place on earth, and it's a place for kids with autism to come and just experience camp. We don't really work on skills, and we don't teach them things, because that's what they're always doing all the time. I mean, if you think about it, just the most basic interaction with anybody, it just takes a lot of learning for them. Like, they have to learn how to make eye contact with people the right amount. They have to learn how to hold their body in a way that's open. They have to like learn about other people's body postures and the little subtle signs that we don't even think to like look for because we just pick it up naturally. Camp Royall is kind of a way to get away from that and just let them be who they are for a little while. It's more about like, oh, you want to have a tantrum? Go and have your tantrum, you know, do your thing. Usually it's one-on-one, so this was my first time having two campers. Lulu and Sophia are, I would say, pretty high functioning. They have decent social skills for their age. They're pretty good at personal care and everything like that. I was worried about not being able to give them both the attention that they needed. I mean, I can help, you know, as much as I can help, but when it comes down to it, I don't know what it's like to have autism. So I think there's like this common misconception that people with autism end up stuck with living with their parents or in a group home, or, you know, just not really having much of a social life or working or anything like that. And the fact of the matter is, like, they might need a lot of assistance doing those things, but they can still have, you know, a life that they enjoy. Having people working at Camp Royall who are on the spectrum shows the campers, like, hey, this thing that society is telling me doesn't have to be my future. I can work, I can have a job, I can live maybe not completely independently, but, you know, a lot of people don't live completely independently, and that's okay. In college, so many people realize that they have anxiety problems or, like, goodness knows what else. You know, it's just a mess. Like, people are just realizing maybe I can't do everything that I thought I could. I mean, that's what happened to me, kind of. I mean, it was a little bit before college, but I realized, you know, like, wow, I have these issues and I might never be able to do what I want to do because of them. And that just stinks. Like, that just, it's just the worst feeling. This is just who you are, and like, that's okay. Like, you don't have to fit into what everyone else does. You can shape your life however you want and however you need to.